Long ago, in the heart of Mesoamerica, where mighty pyramids touched the sky and ancient cities hummed with life, there existed a legend, one whispered in the shadows of temples and carved into the very stones of the earth. It was the legend of the stone mirrors, sacred objects said to hold the power of the gods themselves. The people of Mesoamerica, the Aztecs, the Maya, and those who came before them, believed that these mirrors were not just tools for seeing one's reflection. No, they were gateways, portals to other worlds, to the past and to the future. Some said they could show a man his destiny. Others claimed they revealed the secrets of the gods. But one thing was certain: to possess a stone mirror was to hold a fragment of divine power. The mirrors were not made of glass, as we know them today. Instead, they were crafted from polished obsidian, a dark volcanic stone that gleamed like the night sky. Skilled artisans spent years shaping and smoothing the stone until its surface became so perfect that it could reflect not just a face, but the unseen forces of the universe. Among the many stories of these mirrors, one stands above the rest: the tale of the mirror of Tezcatlipoca. Tezcatlipoca, the smoking mirror, was one of the most powerful gods in Aztec belief. He was a deity of magic, of destiny, and of the unseen. His mirror was his most sacred symbol, for it showed not what was, but what could be. The Aztecs believed that through this mirror, Tezcatlipoca watched the world, shaping fate with a mere glance. But the mirror was not just a tool of the gods. It was said that a mortal who dared to gaze into it would see visions, visions of their greatest triumphs or their darkest failures. Some who looked into it went mad, unable to bear the weight of what they saw. Others claimed it granted them wisdom beyond mortal understanding. There was once a young warrior named Cuauhtli who sought the mirror of Tezcatlipoca. He had heard the legends, the whispers of its power, and he believed that if he could see his own destiny, he could change it. Cuauhtli was brave, but he was also proud. He thought himself strong enough to face whatever the mirror showed him. After many trials, Cuauhtli found himself standing before the mirror in a hidden temple deep in the jungle. The surface of the obsidian was so dark it seemed to swallow the light around it. With a deep breath, he looked into its depths. At first, he saw only his own reflection, his strong jaw, his fierce eyes. But then the image shifted. The mirror showed him battles, great victories where he stood as a hero. His chest swelled with pride. But the vision did not stop there. It showed him more: his arrogance, his downfall. He saw himself betrayed, abandoned, dying alone. Cuauhtli staggered back, his heart pounding. The mirror had shown him the truth, not just his glory, but his fate. The gods did not grant visions to be ignored. They showed the path so that one might walk it with open eyes. From that day on, Cuauhtli changed. He fought not for pride, but for his people. He ruled not with arrogance, but with wisdom. And when his time came, he faced his end with courage, for he had seen it long before. The mirror of Tezcatlipoca was lost to time, as many sacred things are. But the legend remains, a reminder that some truths are too powerful to escape. The Maya, too, had their own tales of stone mirrors. They believed that these objects were gifts from Itzamna, the god of knowledge. The mirrors were used by kings and priests to communicate with the spirit world, to seek guidance in times of war or famine. One such story tells of a great king named Pakal, who ruled the city of Palenque. It was said that Pakal possessed a mirror so powerful it could summon the gods themselves. With it, he spoke to the ancestors, learning secrets of architecture and astronomy that allowed his city to flourish. But mirrors were not always used for good. Another legend speaks of a sorcerer who stole a sacred mirror from a temple, hoping to use its power for himself. For a time, he grew strong, seeing the weaknesses of his enemies before they struck. But the mirror demanded a price. With every vision, it took a piece of his soul, until at last he became nothing more than a hollow shell, his mind lost to the reflections of the past. These stories teach us that power is never without consequence. The stone mirrors of Mesoamerica were not mere objects. They were alive with the will of the gods. To look into one was to dance with destiny itself. Today, archaeologists have found fragments of these ancient mirrors in the ruins of old temples. Some are small, fit for a priest's hand. Others are large, meant to stand in sacred spaces. But even now, broken and silent, they carry the weight of their legends. Perhaps if you stand very still in the right place at the right time, you might catch a glimpse of something in the polished stone. Not your own face, but something older, something wiser. A whisper from the past, a ripple in the fabric of time. For the stone mirrors of Mesoamerica were never truly about seeing. They were about knowing. And in a world where the gods walked among men, knowing was the greatest power of all. The next time you hold a mirror, remember, it is not just glass and silver. It is a fragment of an ancient magic, a descendant of the obsidian mirrors that once showed kings and warriors their fate. And who knows? If you listen closely, you might just hear the echoes of the old legends calling from the stone.